Hey there, it's September 27th, and big news coming to Fallout 76. Right now in the PTS, we have a update, and boy, am I telling you, some changes are coming to Fallout 76, and they are really good in my perspective. But there is some bad, and we'll get to that. So let's move forward. So, released today, we're updating the public test servers with a suite of combat and perk balancing changes, as well as new mutated public events that will arrive in the next major update for Fallout 76, the Gleaming Depths, later this year. Mutated public events updated. We're making a change to the mutated public events playlist by adding 5 public events, each with 2 mutations to the playlist. These events are Campfire Tales, Volatile and Toxic Blood mutations, Free range, resilient, and swift footed mutations. Project Paradise, active camouflage and resilient mutations. Beast of Burden, freezing touch and reflective mutations. Safe and sound, swift focus, and danger cloud mutations. During the PTS, these events will be on rotation so that you can provide us feedback on all the events. And this is actually what it looks like. Here is Campfire Tales. Let me show you real quick. So glad to see that they're actually doing more mutated events. That really makes me happy because I love doing events, so more the merrier. Plus mutated, I love getting mutated party packs. So bring it on, Bethesda. Let's keep this going. So perk updates. During Milepost 0 PTS testing and release, we made some focused changes to Vaccinated, Iron Stomach, Thirst Quencher, and Natural Resistant perks to make these generally underperforming cards more interesting and easier to incorporate in your builds. We did this by removing the extra ranks, lowering the card's cost, and changing the card's effects to scale with the related primary stats. In today's PTS update, we're continuing the process by modifying more perk cards with the same design goals in mind. The batch of changes primarily focuses on endurance cards, but you'll also see some changes to a few cards in the other stat categories. Adamantium Skeleton. Ranks reduced from 3 to 1, new effects, limb damage reduction effects, and now scales with endurance. So that's basically saying higher your endurance, the better your reduction will be. All Night Long. Ranks reduced from 3 to 1, rank 1 perk points costs increased from 1 to 2, new effects. The positive effects of pre-war alcohol last twice as long. Bloodsucker. Ranks reduced from 3 to 1, move from charisma to endurance. Rank 1 gains the effect for the former rank 3. Healing bonus increased from 150% to 200%. Additional effects, benefits now also apply to Cannibal. Cannibal. Ranks reduced from 3 to 1. Increase the healing received and the hunger restored at rank 1. So Cannibal and Bloodsucker are now going together and they're working. So that's nice. Cap Collector. Ranks reduced from 3 to 1. Now applies to all containers, not just cap stashes. That is awesome. That is really nice. New effect. The amount of caps found scales with luck. That is pretty cool too. So to see that for a new level, a newbie, it's going to be very awesome. Get them caps up to get what they need. First Aid. Ranks reduced from 3 to 1. New effects. Stim packs. Healing scales with intelligence. That's kind of decent. Okay. 4-Leaf Clover. Ranks reduced from 3 to 1. New effects. Missing in bats contributes to the critical meters based on luck. Well, I have a lot of bats that miss, so man, that meter's gonna go up. Hard Bargains. Ranks reduced from 3 to 1. Rank 1 now grants plus 7 charisma while bartering with NPCs. Junk Shield. Ranks reduced from 3 to 1. Now works while in power armor. Additional effects. Now it also scales with luck. Working with power armor. I know a lot of you are probably excited about that. If you're a lower level, you carry a lot of junk, you farm. Now you'd be a little more tankier. Life Giver. Ranks reduced from 3 to 1. New effects. Improve the health points gained from endurance. A lot of these are really good improvements for us. I'm telling you, I'm loving these. Now, this one I've always thought needed work on. Lone Wonder. Ranks reduced from 3 to 1. New effects, AP regen in defense, bonuses based on charisma. That is nice. I think that this has been needing improvement for a very, very long time. Night Eyes, removed requirements for the time of day. Professional Drinker, ranks reduced from 3 to 2. That one, they just took it from a 3 to 2. So, not much on that one. So, for the bigger ones, Ricochet, ranks reduced from 3 to 1. New effects. Now increase deflects chances based on luck. Deflects grants a chance to reflect 100% of damage of ranged attacks back to the attacker and reduces the damage you take from the attack by 50%. Deflect chances received a bonus while wearing heavy armor and power armor, plus 50% multiplier. While in power armor, the amount of damage reflects is doubled by 200%. Wow. Ricochet, I think it just got even better. Ricochet was really good, and I think it just might have got better, but I got to test it into PTS first. Here's another one you guys are going to really love. Bullet Shield. Moved from Strength to Endurance, added a 4th rank, new effect, 5% chance per rank to deflect range attacks for 6% when firing a heavy weapon. Big guns, I know you guys love the sound of this, and I know you love it being moved. Now here's another one I'm absolutely loving. Serendipity. Ranks reduced from 3 to 1. That is nice. New effects. Now increase evade chance while under 30% life. Based on luck. Evades provide a chance to avoid all incoming damage from direct attacks. Evade can happen once every 2 seconds and cannot happen when over encumbered or while in power armor. Evasive. Ranks reduced from 3 to 1. New effects. Now increase evade chance based on agility. So still not bad. And here's another big one. Starch Jeans. Ranks reduced from 2 to 1. Moved from luck to endurance. That is awesome also. Rank 1 now provides the benefits of the former rank 2. Man, moving all these cards are going to open up so many more possible builds. So many more stronger builds. I am so excited about this. So far, I'm playing around with it in the PTS. Very awesome. And the last one for our perk cards. Through Hiker, move from agility to endurance. So that is also really nice also. So that'll give us more to play with. Combat balances adjustments to explosion visual effects. We've reduced the radius in which screen flash effects appear for a multitude of explosions throughout the game. This is purely a visual change and does not impact the radius in which damage is dealt, except in a couple of cases noted below. A few of these have had sizable reductions, especially the Fat Man and the Fat Man Merv explosions. Please be sure to provide feedback on whether these changes are sufficient in reducing unwanted screen flashing, blah, 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 blah. So player weapons have been affected. Artillery pieces, auto grenade launcher, M79, baseball grenades, broadsider, bug grenade, cryo arrow, cryo grenade, cryo mine, explosions, all types from weapons using the explosive legendary mod, Fat Man Merv from individual projectiles, flaming arrow, floater grenade, floater freezer grenades, frag grenades, grand finale, the broadsider, hack and slash legendary perk, hailstorm missile launcher cryo payload, hailstorm missile launcher napalm payload, hailstorm missile launcher plasma payload, missile launcher, missile turrets. Nuka grenade also has a slight reduction to damage radius to differentiate from Nuka quantum grenades. So, does that mean is it nerf? I don't know yet. Nuka quantum grenades also has a slight increase to damage radius to differentiate from Nuka grenades. Dev notes. Adjustment to the size of the explosion effects to better match the radius in which the explosion deals damage will occur at a later date. Orbital strike beacon, plasma grenades, power armor, explosive vents, pulse grenades, troglodytes. Now, for NPC weapons environmental effects. NPC's use of player weapons listed above will also be affected. Exploding cars and other civilian vehicles, explosive rounds from turrets, floater freezer death, fusion core meltdown robots, gas canisters, invaders from beyond UFO missile strikes, mole rat landminer, robot death explosions, scorched exterminator plasma launcher, super mutant suicide mini nuke, turret death explosions, various destructible objects such as machinery and crafted steel, and the foundry, the pit. Vertibird death explosion, Vertibot death explosion. Weapons. We've made changes to the damage and AP cost for many weapons, which primarily focuses on improving cases where weapons don't perform well enough to meet players' expectations. Damage buffs. These values represent the weapon at its maximum level, 45 or 50, depending on the weapon. Lower level values have similar increase in damage. This list represents an early pass on many non-automatic and single-shot weapons, including shotguns, revolvers, rifles, and bows. Please be sure to provide feedback on these changes as we intend to make follow-up adjustments as needed. Damage for the following weapons have been increased. 10mm pistols from 28 to 31, 44 revolver from 60 to 72, black powder pistol 176 to 216, black powder rifle from 180 to 217, bow 90 to 95, cold shoulder 115/175 to 91 to 91, combat shotguns 90 to 97, compound bows 100 to 112, crossbows 70 to 111, double barrel shotguns 115 to 140, Gauss rifle 140 146, Gauss shotgun 140 to 187. Dev note, we recognize that the initial update to the Gauss shotgun, originally 105 to 140, was not sufficient in making up for the damage lost with the earlier changes to how explosions damage is calculated. We continue to observe this weapon's performance and we will make further updates if needed to ensure that it meets expectations. Man, I really hope this is a lot better because that Gauss shotgun was really poopy after the update. They really killed it. So many people upset about that. So we'll have to check that out and we'll have to do a video on it and see what it's really like. But for the rest of the list, harpoon guns 175 to 195, hunting rifles 70 to 100, lever action rifles 75 to 88, pepper shaker 60 to 75, pipe bolt action 70 to 94, pipe gun 26-28, pipe revolver 55-70, pump action shotgun 95 to 102, salvage assaultron head 50 to 62, still will probably be poopy, we all know that. Single action revolver 62 to 82, the Dragon 225 to 255, Western revolver 65 to 84. So a lot of buffs, so that's good to see. Now let's see how they really play out. Only way to find out is we'll test it in the PTS. Weapon mod adjustments. Adjusted the damage for the beta wave tuner and gamma wave emitter mods for the following weapons. Laser gun. Reduced DOT damage, which is damage over time, and then reduce fire damage. Ultrasight laser gun, reduce damage over time damage, reduce fire damage. Gatling laser, increase damage over time damage, reduce fire damage. Ultrasight Gatling laser, reduce damage over time damage at level 35, reduced fire damage. Plasma gun, reduce damage over time damage. Dev note, while these weapons are still being evaluated for overall balance, these particular mods overshot the current target for fire damage mods, especially when taking into account the recent adjustment to creatures' health and resistance, and are being brought in line with similar mods for other weapons. This allows for more consistency among weapons and mods when making future changes. Like I've said, so many changes coming, so many changes we've had in the past few updates. It's a lot. Honestly, it seems like the game is getting a lot better with these. Believe it or not, it just takes time. AP cost reductions. AP costs for the following weapons have been reduced. 10mm SMG 28 to 14. Dev note, the Anchorage Ace no longer gains an additional AP cost benefits beyond the Reflex Sight's 15% reduction. 50 cal machine gun, 30 to 12. Auto grenade launcher, 30 to 18. Broadsider, 40 to 18. Cremator, 30 to 20. Cryolator, 20 to 10. Fat Man, 60 to 40. Flamer, 30 to 10. Gatling gun, 30 to 14. Gatling laser, 30 to 8. Gatling plasma, 30 to 14. Gauss mini, 30 to 14. Harpoon gun, 40 to 18. Hellstorm missile launcher, 45 to 20. The light machine gun, 32 to 10. The M79 grenade launcher, 30 to 16. The minigun, 30 to 8. Missile launcher, 45 to 25. Pepper shaker, 30 to 14. Plasma caster, 30 to 18. Ultrasight Gatling laser, 30 to 10. Mutations. Address an issue where the Eagle Eyes mutations would gain twice the intended benefits from the Strange in Number perk. Dev note: the effect of this mutation was originally reduced in an earlier update, but the effect of the mutation with the Strange in Number version perk had not been updated at the time. This change brings Eagle Eyes in line with the expectations for how Strange in Numbers affect mutations. Address an issue where the increased hunger and thirst penalty for Speed Demon mutation had no effect. Address an issue where the effect of the Class Freak perk, the Speed Demon serum impact on negative mutation effects, and Rad-X effects on suppressing the effect of Speed Demon were not properly represented in the Pip-Boy. Address an issue where the Speed Demon mutation would also count as the Empath mutation for reducing damage dealt to teammates. Dev note: alongside the other Empath bugs, this was causing a 33% reduction in all damage taken, and a further 33% reduction to explosion damage taken while on a team, so long as a fellow teammate was using the Speed Demon mutation. Address an issue where the Empath mutation damage reduction from teammates was twice as effective as intended for explosion damage. Address an issue that an Empath mutation increased to damage taken would cause twice as much additional explosion damage as expected. Address an issue where the Empath mutation increased the damage taken would be affected by the Strange in Number perk. Address an issue where the Empath mutation had a strong decrease to teammates' damage taken than expected, as if the Strange in Number perk was always active regardless of whether the Empath user had Strange in Numbers equipped. Address an issue where the Twisted Muscle mutation wasn't affected by the Strange in Number perk. Address an issue where the Twisted Muscle mutation had a much lower than intended chance to cripple enemies. Address an issue where the Twisted Muscle mutation had no effect for unarmed weapons. Creatures. These enemies previously shared weapons with players and now use enemy-specified variants of those weapons. As a result, these weapons can no longer be looted after those enemies are killed. To make up for the loss of these weapons, we'll be making adjustments to creatures' loot and scrap to learn chance for non-legendary mods in a later update during this PTS. The type of health damage and resistance adjustments mentioned in the creatures below have also been applied to other creatures as part of earlier updates. We've included additional information here to help provide a better understanding of the changes being made. Balance adjustments have been made for the following creatures. All creatures previously used in player weapons, Blood Eagles, Cultists, Lost, Mole Miners, Raiders, Scorch, Super Mutants. Weapon damage now scales to level 100. Dev note: as these creatures previously used players' weapons, their damage would only scale to level 45 or 50. Thrown grenades now scale with level. Dev note: this currently only applies to enemies using grenades. Damage from player grenades is unchanged. Health resistant and damage now scales more smoothly from level 1 to level 100. Dev note: these creatures will generally be less threatening at mid-level, especially 35 to 75, but should be a bit tougher towards level 100. In some cases at low level, these creatures may be slightly weaker or stronger in order to ensure that they're appropriately engaging even when first met. Power armor variants resistance now scale more appropriately at differing levels. Dev note: these creatures previously would gain a flat bonus from power armor at all levels and thus could be unexpectedly tougher at low to mid level. Resistance, differentiated between Blood Eagles, Cultists, and Raiders, now relies more on health as the primary driver for survivability rather than resistance. Dev note: resistance are being used more differentiated damage types rather than as a substitute for health. This has the side benefits for showing higher damage numbers when attacking these creatures, which more closely match the weapons being used. No longer gains a variable amount of resistance based on randomized armor. Floater freezers. Slightly lowered the duration of the slow effect on the freezing breath attack, reduced the rate of which the slow effect accumulates for the freezing breath attack, reduced damage for freezing breath attack, reduced the cryo damage for the blast, stare, shockwave attack, the one which also deals fusion core damage, floater flamer, reduced damage for the fire breath attack, floater nasher, reduced damage for the bite attack, alien invader, reduced health, reduced damage in daily ops, lesser devil, increased damage, blood bug, reduced radiation damage at lower levels, and magazine. Now this is where we're going to get the nerfs and other things. The following magazines have been updated for the most part. These are direct increase to magazine effects. Astoundingly Awesome Tales 7, plus 25 max AP up from 5. Astoundingly Awesome Tales 10, plus 35% more damage with scope weapons while aiming, previously 15% without needing to aim. Dev note, this magazine now specifically offers its benefits to weapons fired using manual aim and does not affect VAT. Backwoodsman 2, name and cover art updated to match effects. Dev note, this is purely cosmetic change for the magazine's name and cover. It was previously swapped with Backwoodsman 7. Now for one of the nerfs that I did not want to see. Backwoodsman 6. Now only affects healing from cooked foods rather than all effects from cooked foods. That means you're no longer going to get any benefits from the Backwoodsman 6 towards any tasty squirrels or brains or anything like that. It is strictly healing now. No experience buffs, nothing. So I'm going to show you in this video that I took in the PTS real quick. I took a tasty squirrel, I took a brain, and now you'll see that I'm going to use a Backwoodsman 6, and it's not going to do anything. Now you see tasty squirrels plus 20, broiled brains plus 6. No change whatsoever. Very sad day. It's very, very poopy, but we just roll with it and we make it work. So Live and Love 8s will be the new thing, so be prepared to use Live and Love 8s again. Backwoodsman 7, name and cover art updated to match effects. Now affects all thrown weapons, sheep squat shard, tomahawk, throwing knife, meat cleaver instead of just tomahawks. Live and Love 1, plus 25 max health while on a team up from 10. Live and Love 3, here's the other one. Now only affects healing from fruits and veggies rather than all effects from fruits and veggies. Same thing as the Backwoodsman 6, that has been nerfed. It will no longer work with the experience, so I'm sorry, we lose that buff too, so everybody's going to have to go back to Live and Love 8. Live and Love 6, plus 25 damage resistance while on a team up from 10. Grognok and the Barbarian 3, plus 25 poison resistance up from 15. Grognok the Barbarian 8, 25 cryo resistance, charisma no longer required, instead of plus 2 damage resistance per point of charisma. Grognok the Barbarian 9, plus 25 carry weight up from 10. Grognok the Barbarian 10, plus 25 energy resistance up from 15. Tesla Science 6, plus 75 radiation resistance up from 15. Guns of Bullet 6, plus 75 damage resistance at night up from 10 damage resistance at night. Now occurs slightly later at night to match nocturnals and other nighttime effects. Scout's Life 3 now reduces all items weights by 10% instead of plus 10 carry weight. Scout's Life 9 now provides plus 25 fire resistance instead of minus 80% camp placement costs. Oh, that's nice. U.S. Covert Operations Manual 1 plus 50 damage resistance while sneaking up from 10 while sneaking. Backwoodsman 6 and Live and Love 3 far exceeded the intended level of benefits for magazines and have been adjusted to match their original effects of boosting healing from food items. Backwoodsman 6 prior changes in Once in a Blue Moon update have been made in error, and we apologize for the confusions. Prior to this update, these magazines boost all food effects included but not limited to carry weight special stats, bats, critical attack, damage, etc. The effect of these magazines will be further adjusted if needed in the future updates. So, it was a mistake. They didn't mean to do it like always, but they finally adjusted after so long. Bug fixes and miscellaneous adjustments. Addressed an issue where super mutant suiciders wouldn't drop mini nukes. They now have a small chance to drop a mini nuke when killed without exploding, which I don't ever remember them dropping one when I killed them. I only remember them dropping one when they got close enough. Addressed an issue where the health and resistance for the Scorch Beast Queen, Ultrasight Titan, and Wendigo Colossal or Earl weren't using updated values. Addressed an issue where shotgun's durabilities was much higher than expected as a result of an earlier change. Dev note: shotguns previously would lose durability per pellet instead of per shot, and shotgun durability had not yet been updated to match the much lower durability impact after the changes. Please be sure to provide feedback on this change, especially if you feel that shotguns no longer have durability that's comparable to other weapons. Address an issue where NPCs using laser rifles can occasionally deal unexpected higher damage. Dev note: this occurred when those NPCs were using laser rifles with sniper barrels which will charge over time when not being fired in order to deal more damage on the next shot. These mods have been removed from NPC specific laser rifles. So yeah, I kind of would notice that certain lasers like Blood Eagles and stuff would sometimes be able to just really let you have it if you're around them long enough. Addressed an issue where Tormentor perk had no effect for automatic weapons. Addressed an issue where weapons other than shotguns could be affected by the Enforcer perk in specific circumstances. General benefits to buy and sell prices at NPC vendors from Charisma is no longer capped at 25 and now scales all the way to 100. Fix missing text from some lunchbox effects. Damage dealt by damage reflection effects is now scaled by damage resistance. Fixed a case where perk cards could be incorrectly unequipped when logging in. A dialog box is now shown if any perk cards were unequipped during login. Looks like this. Welcome back. Some of your perk cards have been unequipped. Please visit the perk menu in the Pip-Boy to examine the changes. So, I mean, it's nice, but I'll tell you what, this showed up about 5 minutes after my gameplay, so it's a little laggy right now. Updated the scrap confirmed dialog box to provide more information about the item being scrapped, quantity of the item being scrapped. This also applies to creating items. If any mods can be learned from scrapping, the complete item name is now displayed correctly. Weapons and armors. Civil Unrest and Bunker Buster no longer incorrectly display as a 5-star legendary weapon. Adding item tags for the following headwear item types: bandana, mask, gas mask, hat. Added item tags for heavy, medium, and light armor. Added item tags for improvised weapons, thirst zapper. Quad legendary mods now work correctly with the thirst zapper. Karma syringer, updated effects description. Gatling plasma now deals split damage similar to other plasma weapons. Weapon and armor mods. Animanium. Fix an issue where multiple armor parts with this effect did not stack. The following are no longer considered costumes: Vault 63 right control helmet, burnt Vault 63 right control helmet, Vault 63 recon helmet, burnt Vault 63 recon helmet, Vault 63 security helmet, burnt Vault 63 security helmet. Handmaids. Fixed an issue where handmade rifles reflex sight circle mod would not display in player's inventory. Gatling plasma. New mod plans added are tradable. Update beam splitter to work similar to other splitter mods. Now fires +4 projectiles instead of flame projectiles. New flamer nozzle. Scrap to learn. Converts weapons to flamer style weapons. New accelerated nozzle. Find plans. Increase fire rate. New gamma wave emitter. Find plans. Add burning damage. Convert some damage into fire. New calibrated capacitor. Find plans. Add crit damage. New large core receptacle. Find plans. Increase ammo capacity. New string core receptacle. Find plans. Armor penetration. New swift core receptacle. Find plans. Reload speed. War drum no longer uses tin cans in crafting. Added steel and lead requirements for crafting. Food and aid items. Herd mentality serum. Updated description to indicate proximity to teammates is irrelevant. Bobblehead medicine now benefits the team medic perk. Spiked venison and Tato stew no longer incorrectly gains a damage buff from slow metabolizer. Legendary mods. When scrapping items, the legendary mods that can be received or learned are now listed. Fixed an issue where Charisma, Intelligent, and Luck legendary mods cannot be found on weapons. That's talking about the 3-star versions that was not being dropped yet. Legendary mods in the Tinker Bench are now split into groups by star count. 2-shot. Hid the accuracy and recoil details in the description text. They are still visible within the workbench menu. Dev note, these parameters weren't very quantitative and cluttered the effect description. Durability. Now grants plus 50 durability to items. Now our last set of category. Accessibility. A suite of new accessibility features are coming to the game with this update. When you enter the game for the first time, you'll be presented with the accessibility menu that includes the new setting. This will only appear once, and if you need to change any of these settings in the future, go to Settings, Accessibility. Speech to text. During speech to text on, we'll add a new message window on the UI that will transcribe all voice communications from other players in the area. Message window fade time changes how long the message will stay on screen after the last message has been received. Message window's visibility changes the transparency of the message window. Text to speech. Turning text to speech on will allow players to type text into the message window and have that text converted into audible speech for other players in area who have text to speech on. Text to speech voice allows you to choose between a masculine or a feminine voice type. Chat volume allows you to adjust the volume of the incoming text-to-speech audio. Screen narrative. When the setting is on, you'll hear the audible description from emotes from other players in the area. For example, player wants to team up. User interface navigation. Digital input. Several screens relied completely on analog stick inputs, and that has been addressed to allow keyboard control on PCs and D-pad controls on consoles. This includes the changes, scoreboard map, and character creation screens. Analog input. Several screens didn't support analog inputs to navigate the UI, so the analog functionality has been added to the favorite wheel and social panel. Single key presses. Fast travel countdown cancel now allows a single button command to cancel the fast travel instead of clicking both left and right analog sticks. Social menu allows a single button command to enter the social menu instead of having to hold Control Tab on PC. So let's take a look at that UI real quick. This is what it looks like. So when you go, like they said, you go to game, you go to settings, you got accessibilities, there's speech to text, you got this text to speech. And when you turn these on, this is how you're going to enable these. So you got to enable the message window. And now you can hear the voices.
War
never changes.
War never changes.
War never changes.
War never changes.
Yeah, that is kind of horrible. That is really bad. But I hope they fix it and they make it a lot better. Now you see you got your other controls, everything's still the same and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at that message window now. So you see you press up on the D-pad and then you're able to type in a message. Now I'd imagine a keyboard will pop up just like it would on anything else for consoles, but on PC we just type it on the keyboard. But you see you can type it in and this will be able to be seen by other players in the proximity. And if they have it on text-to-speech, it'll say it. And if you do the emotes will also be able to be said to people. So a lot of cool new adjustments coming to the game. I really love seeing that. So let's look at the Gleaming Deaths now. Now I got some more information. Well, not really much, but I can show you guys what it looks like down at the Gleaming Deaths now. So now you see it on the map. It says Gleaming Depths. So when you travel down here, this is what it looks like. This is all the way up by the door. It says enter to the Gleaming Depth, but you cannot actually enter it. There's no way to enter. Not yet. Coming soon though, very soon. I hope in the next few updates in the PTS. But there's no rads down here. This is what it looks like. And when I traveled down here, there was some mole miners and I killed them. But that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel and give it a like. And don't forget to turn them notifications on so you never miss a video. All right, we'll see you later. Take it easy.